Why did the NFL reignite the cap workout by going public?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, me as a fan or former player, I didn't see it necessary for the NFL to even make it public. Because the NFL is a business that don't do trials unless it's a combine. So I felt like, hey, why did they reignite it to kind of get the people up in the uproar again, to kind of discredit him again, and kind of make him, to be the villain in this situation. To me, now some people saying, hey, well, it's an opportunity, but it's been 3 years. No NFL team called, no NFL team worked them out. Most of the time when you do these workouts, they're private workouts. I thought it would have been a good thing if they decided to do it privately. But I didn't see it necessary for them to go public with it. To reignite it and get people up in a frenzy like they're doing.
Well, my question was, why did they do it on a Saturday?
Right.
Now, you played, you coached.
Right.
I played, I coached. We played on Fridays.
Right.
We played on Saturdays.
Right.
So when we had the opportunity to play college ball, we were playing on Saturdays. No coach was really going out the day before.
Nobody.
They may have went out in the morning to go recruit, but it had to be somewhere near where they could get back to practice in time.
Right.
So why would the NFL have coaches come out on a Saturday before a game?
Before a game. Right.
That didn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, didn't make any sense at all. So I thought it was a way of kind of discrediting him, in which I applaud him, for not even participating in it. A lot of people saying, hey, he don't want to play. But I said the man had to retire. He had put in his retirement paper.
Right.
So we keep saying, well, he don't want to play ball. You put your retirement papers in when you don't want to play ball.
That's true.
So I disagree with that assessment. So for me, I thought the season was going on pretty smooth until they threw that match on the gas again, and it kind of offset people, man, and distract people from the matchup during the week.
And I guess I couldn't understand what was so important about the workout being in Atlanta.
Right.
I mean, I understand that Atlanta is a hub of a major airport, but why it had to be in Atlanta?
And we all know you can work out anywhere.
Right.
I can remember some years when I got back to Mississippi. Matter of fact, it was a scout for the Atlanta Falcons had a kid that they were looking at, and I went it through on his college campus for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not, it didn't make sense for them to say, this is the location, then you come out, then you have Hugh Jackson, them come out and, and kind of say some things about the man, and I didn't think that was necessary, to say, it was an opportunity there. The man been there for 3 years. Nobody called, no workouts, so I never thought it was a chance for him to get back in.
Right. Well, which leads to our next question is, what you think Kaepernick should do to get back in the NFL? Well, I put together 4 points that I think that he should do.
All right.
One is he got to create leverage once again. And the way he create leverage is he gonna have to give a friendly contract number to make teams want to take a chance on. So what I'm saying is his contract gonna have to be, if it comes after he doesn't pan out the second time around, the NFL team hadn't lost anything. You don't want to sign him to this massive contract where, let's say they sign him to a $20 million contract and $17 million of it guaranteed.
I don't think he even. I think the minimum would do him. I think he just want. I think he just want a shot at getting on the roster. So I think you can void contract like as a prime example, AB.
Mm-hmm.
So with Antonio Brown. So we've criminalized this man like he's done something wrong.
Right.
The man hadn't been charged with sexual crimes or DUIs,
drugs.
The man hadn't been popped on any performance enhancing drugs.
Right.
So the man just had an opinion. So we're crucifying this man because he had an opinion, which we all have an opinion. And you know how locker rooms are.
Right.
You got some people, man, they strictly Christian, they're about the Bible. Sometimes you don't want to hear about that all the time. But hey, that's your opinion.
Right.
You may have some guys, hey, they want to go out every time we get a chance. Hey man, I don't want to go out.
Right. So
you know how it is when you've been in the locker room, man. You have people come from all kind of background, their religious beliefs are different. Some believe in this, some don't believe in anything. So for for the league to put him out there and crucify him in front of the world like he's done something terrible, which a lot of people may not stand or having a different opinion, may not want to, stand up in front of the team, or if the team may have a team song.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may not want to sing the team song.
Right.
So, I just didn't see that, to be a way of not, allowing the man to get in.
Number two, how can he get back in? This is what I think he should do to get back in, which ties in with number one, is getting leverage. Most NFL football players that either get cut before they think it's time, or something happened where they're no longer able to play in the NFL, usually go to other organizations to play football. Normally the Canadian League. Joey Brown went to the Canadian League. He played DB. Last team was for the Saints. And most notably, Ricky Williams. He went back to the Canadian League and reinvented himself. So I think Cap should, if he really wants to play, if he really wants to play now,
he's an NFL quarterback though. He's not a Canadian League.
But listen,
the man hadn't been injured.
Listen, Doug Flutie did, but listen.
But those are different circumstances.
I understand different circumstances, but the NFL is all about what have you done for me last hour. Not lately, but last hour. Cap hadn't played in 3 years. So it's just like investing in a foreign car. That foreign car been sitting up in somebody's garage for 35 years, and they want you to get them $10 million. You're going to be kind of hesitant because you don't know what parts you got to replace on that car because it's been sent. So I think that he should at least think about going to the Canadian League. And
so you're saying go knock some rust off?
Knock some rust off, even if you do it for a year.
Yeah.
Show him what you can do. If he can go up there and play in that 12-man game and use the skill set that he has, because it actually worked to his advantage. The field is wider.
Right.
That means he can use his legs. The throws, it'll help. Right. He don't have such tighter windows to throw the football. So I think it'll actually help him if he considered going to the Canadian League for a year. And number three, should he keep up the cause? I say he should. Because one thing about humans, we might not necessarily like what you're doing, but deep down underneath, we appreciate when you're consistent. So if you hot one day, don't be cold the next day. If you're a hot person, stay hot. I might not like you being a hot person, but one thing I can say, that guy is always hot. I can't even say that about him. I do appreciate about him. He's always the same. And number four, finally, ball out, which goes back to my number two. Whenever you get that opportunity, make the best of your opportunity. Take advantage of that opportunity and make them say, hey, we are wrong for blackballing this guy. We're wrong for not allowing him to showcase his talents in our league.
So the league needs to admit that they are black. That they are.
Yes, they do.
I'm gonna say white ball. I don't want to say black ball. They white ball. pretty much.
However you want to categorize it,
Yeah.
that's what they doing.
So pretty much he has a case against the NFL. So this is where the problem is coming in.
Mm-hmm. And that's what lawsuit came in.
Right. Right.
But he's saying they knowingly
Right.
are keeping him from employment.
Right.
You're saying, hey, you keep saying that this guy is a has-been,
Right.
but yeah, you're not giving me an opportunity to show
That's
that
right.
I'm a has-been.
That's right. And then you hear people saying, well, why would you want to go play for an organization that don't want you to play? It's no different than our job.
Right.
We have a human resource department, just like the leagues have. They have what they call it, collective bargaining.
Mm-hmm.
They have CBA.
Yeah.
They have representation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say, why would a man want to play in the league that don't want him in the league? It's just like on your job.
Well, you know why I find that foolish? Why you don't want to play in a league that don't want you? Do you realize that an NFL player ranks in the top 10% of the highest paid job with the shortest of lifespan?
Mhm.
You don't have to work up in the NFL to acquire $50 million.
Right.
But as a surgeon, you're going to have to probably, I'm not going to say you got to work 20 years,
Right.
but you got to work a great number of years to accumulate that type of money.
Right.
Insurance agent, a real estate mogul.
Right.
You're going to have to work a long time to acquire those type of assets and resources and money.
Right.
But the NFL, you don't.
Right. And
You
then,
know-
and then people got to understand a lot of this stuff that we're fussing about is not a mandate. It's not a mandate. It's not something that you have to do. And when people are fighting for you on your jobs and people, always saying that, well, why would you want to do that? You got to understand, somebody fought for those same rights on your job. For you to be treated fairly when you come in to work, clock in, clock out, lunchtime, lunch breaks, So somebody went through that for you and I. So, I think it's a noble thing, man.
All right, moving right along. What's topic 2?
All right. The second one we had has the new rules by using replay in the NBA and the NFL help the game eliminate human error or over-regulating calls. So now we're seeing a lot of calls now in the NFL, the NBA, they're going to replay. We know it stemmed from the incident with the Rams and the Saints, a missed call. When we play, referees miss calls. They make bad calls. You can bounce back from it, or it'll cause you, some type of, yardage or a touchdown or something like that. So for me, I don't know, are we over-regulating with the replay stuff?
Some things need to be replayed, but being able to throw a flag just because you disagree with this call or disagree with that call, and then have to go back to see if he did jump off sides and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit too much.
It takes away from the element of
it takes away. Not everything is digital.
Digital, that's what I'm right. Now, do you think the gambling part of it has a lot to do with it now?
It does, because
because betting on sports now is a
big.
It's
a
a
big
business.
thing. Yeah, it's a big thing. So yeah, a lot of money does pay a lot into it.
So, some of y'all, that's out there listening, shoot some of your ideas, your questions, or what you have. Let us know what you think.
So the next one are boosters or coaches. And this is where the boosters are in control of the program. Should the boosters just pay their money and just support from afar and allow the coaches to control the program?
So we're asking too, is it pressure on the student athlete? Is it pressure on the kids? to perform. So you're asking, are the boosters or the coaches?
Well, you go ahead with that statement right there. You say it's a pressure on the kids.
Right.
And
To perform,
it is.
since we're set up in a BCS format,
Mm-hmm.
strictly playoffs now.
Mm-hmm.
Or the kids having really that much fun playing because year after year we've only seen the same top 8 teams, be selected,
Mm-hmm.
So is the pressure there?
Yeah, the pressure is there because everybody wants to win the championship.
Right.
Jobs are on the line. Now we're getting to the point now, 9 and 10 wins are enough. We losing 2 games, and they telling us you got to go.
You got to go.
I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Listen. I understand winning.
Right.
Winning is important, but sometimes we're not realistic in our winning. Especially when you have a mediocre program.
Right.
You got a mediocre program that's at least 10 years off.
Right.
From being a major contender,
right.
And you firing your coach because he's averaging 7 wins this year,
That's right.
8 wins this year, 9
right.
wins. You showing progression.
Yes. And then you're adding these winnable games, like we saw this weekend with Auburn and Alabama. They gearing up to play each other. But then you're scheduling these teams and you're blowing these teams out. We're seeing these blowouts in college football, 50 and 60 points. Nobody wants to see that, so
Hey, y'all go ahead and chime in. Right now we're talking about pressure on kids to perform in college sports, mainly football. So if you have any questions or anything that you want to say, go ahead and chime in on live, or you can give us a text on our text line at 601-732-5063. Hey, Lakita, how you doing? She telling us hello, Fred.
Hey, what up, Kiki? What's going on?
So, spinning off that, let's go back to boosters or coaches. That's where the pressure's coming in. Okay, so we looked up an article by Bob Rohr. He wrote in the LA Times. He was talking about how boosters and coaches are going head to head and how they are coming into conflict with each other. Mm-hmm. And he stated how we can get this thing back on track. He said one booster should let the coaches run the program, which I totally agree.
Right.
That's what you hired the coach for,
right.
To run and manage the program. Right. I should have say-so over who I hire,
right.
Who I fire. Right. I should have say-so who I'm going to play, who I'm not going to play. Right. I should have say-so who I'm going to sign, who I refuse to sign.
I agree with
you.
Hey.
And it said also boosters shouldn't have an input on the hiring or firing coaches, like I said. Right. Just because you look at some program, well, let's say I'm a major donor. Mm-hmm. I donate hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Right. And let's say you're my son and you want to get into coaching, or I have aspiration of one day you being head coach at this program. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go and say, well, hey, I need for you to find a position for my son. Mm-hmm. Well, your son don't qualify. He hadn't even He hadn't even did a graduate assistant spot. He hadn't volunteered. He hadn't done anything. Well, you hadn't made $1 million, or you hadn't donated $5 million. But yet we're doing it to help your program. Right. This needs to happen. Then I go to the athletic director or the president and say, well, hey, he giving me a hard time about him hiring my son. So we need to do something about that. So here comes the spaghetti spine or spaghetti back AD or president and say, is it really a big deal not hiring his son? Fire such and such. Is he really that much of an asset? Or find something else for him to do? Right. Now the coach, you finna get ready and remove a fire. He might be a real good asset to your program. He might be there where he's the chain link between